5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to a new episode of the podcast series for the first Tech Challenge Benelux. And today we are in The Hague in the Netherlands at Maerlant Lyceum. And today at my table I have two interesting guests. And on my left is
Moritz.
And on the right is
Niklas.
Moritz. For the listener who does not know you, can you please introduce yourself?
So I'm Moritz. I'm 17 years old. And we are a team RTF for Robotic Tech Frox from Stuttgart in Germany.
And Niklas.
So I'm Niklas. I'm also obviously part of 20092 Robotic Tech Frox, and I'm part of the hardware and outreach part of the team.
You are together at my table, but the team consists of more team members. Moritz, can you tell us more about other team members?
Yeah, so we have Florian, who is like in the software. He's doing a lot of software. We have Catalina as well. She's doing hardware and outreach. We have Kilian. He's a rookie this year, and he's trying to make an image recognition, so more on the software side. We have Maximilian. He's like a bit of all-rounder, but this year he's helping Kilian with the image recognition on the software side.
Then we got Jimin. He's part of the software team, mainly developing the stuff for the drive-to-position controller and odometry. Also, he designed our team logo. Then we got Katarina, helps with designing too.
Okay, and what is the name of the school that you are attending, Moritz?
We are attending the Königin Katharina Stift in Stuttgart, Germany. It's a gymnasium, so we have 4 years in like the first part of school, and then 8 years in the gymnasium. And with FTC, it's like the last roundabout 4 years of those 8 years, you have the opportunity to do FTC at our school.
Very good. And today you are both wearing the same color shirt, and you also have a nice, what is it, mascot? Niklas.
Our mascot is the Frox. It's a combination of a fox and a frog. It was kind of created accidentally, but we just found it really an interesting mascot, and it has been very popular. We gift those to many teams. And we have decided that our Frox, our mystery creature, is orange. That's why we are wearing orange. Our robot is orange-black this season, so we decided, we want to reflect that on our team clothing. We wear black pants with orange T-shirts to highlight that.
Very good. Moritz, you just mentioned something about software. Can you describe what types of software that you use in your team?
So for software, we have our own custom C++ library. There's still the FTC software development kit that's like for Java. And then we built our own SDK, if you want to call it that basically translates it from Java to C++. And in C++, we then published this SDK on GitHub. I think it has like 170 downloads, so we open sourced it to other teams as well. And for our own team code, we then have more possibilities in C++, and it's faster. And that's like the main reason we use it is because it's faster than if you were to write everything in Java. And so for our own team code, we have in the autonomous, we have special a paving, our own paving code, so the robot can follow not just like a line between 2 points on the playing field, but something what's called a Bezier curve. It's basically a curve that's described with 2 or more control points, and I think that's quite special.
If it's a curve, then it might need 3 points.
Well, a Bezier curve with 2 control points is basically a line, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And Niklas, can you describe some of the parts of your hardware, such as the drivetrain, the intake, the shooter, etc.?
So our robot is based on a mechanism drivetrain, a so-called parallel plate drivetrain. It's not the compactest drivetrain, but it's, if you have custom machining or laser cutting available, it's probably one of the best mechanism drivetrains you can build. On top of that, we built like an extendo to extend into the submersible, where we take the samples with a claw or intake. It doesn't really matter this season. We decided to go for a claw. Then this when it retracts the extendo and has this sample, it can put it in we call it the bucket, which is like on an elevator to score it in the baskets. Then for the specimen, we got like another small claw on the elevator to pick them up from the human player station from the field wall. And we also got 2 hanging hooks on the elevator to do our level 2 ascent. Yeah, that's basically it. We got like some stuff relevant for the software, like our 3 dead wheel odometry system, or magnetic limit switches on the elevator and extender for automatic homing. Yeah, that's basically a basic rundown of our robot.
During the preparation at home, did the robot perform as you would like?
It worked better than we expected. We since last year, we plan our robot in CAD first. Last year we tried it and it worked really great. And so this year we continue to do that. And I can only recommend that to any team, to CAD the bot before you build it. It sounds maybe a bit counterintuitive, but it's actually faster than building and trying around at first. And usually you get better, more compact designs. Yeah, that's why we chose that. And we just expected to have some issues when we put the CAD in reality. But through the practice from last year, we had basically no issues.
And today, when you arrived, did the robot still perform the way you wanted to perform?
Yes, there was a small issue with the software that we missed the expansion limit, because like hardware-wise, our robot can extend over the 48 inches of the maximum extension limit, which wasn't correctly limited by software. But I think it should be fixed by now.
Okay, Moritz, a whole other question. Did you listen to one of the earlier episodes of this podcast series?
Yeah, I listened to the one with Ben and Sarah from Team KKST because, first of all, they're also from our school. They told us excitedly, we made that podcast, and like everybody listened, and it was on English. So that's the reasons why I chose this episode.
Yes, some are in Dutch, and that might be a little difficult for you. And you mentioned that all the team members listened to that episode. Do you have contact with other FTC teams?
Well, of course, there's the other teams in our school. Like I mentioned already, Team KKST, but there's also Team Frog, FROG, and Team ILF, ILF. Like those are the 3 teams from our school that are also competing today here in the Netherlands. And well, then we are in contact with teams from Lithuania. So that's because last year we had an exchange student from Lithuania in Germany, and basically we invited him to do FTC at our school, and that's why we have good contact with them. we have good contact to a team from Slovenia because basically they decided to even create that team because at our school we host a scrimmage every year in like November, and that scrimmage was one of the reasons why they wanted to do an FTC team at all. And we have good contact with Stanislas Tech Team, STT. They also came to our scrimmage this year for the first time, and it's like really fun to, especially at our scrimmage when we are like in our hometown. Like it's really fun to be with the other teams and like not just compete at the scrimmage and like look if you have a working robot or if something's broken, but also to have fun.
You mentioned a few minutes ago all the team members of your team. Did you also mention if you have coaches?
I didn't mention that, but we have basically Mr. Fick. He's our coach. He like organizes everything. Like he organizes that we go to this competition today here. He organizes like how we get here, where we sleep, and he organizes the scrimmage and the German competitions and all the other competitions and events that we go. He's organizing those events. Some events we organize on our own, but most events he organizes. And then we also have an alumni, Sylvia. So she drove us to the Netherlands and she visits us at the scrimmage and gives us and sometimes when she's in school, she gives us practical tips. And today with us is also another teacher from our school.
And do you know the name of this teacher?
Mrs. El Adat.
Okay, and Niklas, what is the role of sponsors in your team?
We don't really have another source of income except sponsors, so we really try to search for sponsors. Over the summer holidays this year, we had like a Google Doc which was like, I believe, 8 or 9 pages of just companies listed we wrote to. Also, there's like some foundations which support us, don't sponsor us, but support us monetarily. So we were pretty successful actually over the summer holidays. We got lots of new sponsors or supporters, more than we expected. And yes, also the support award from last year's championship, which we won, really helped us get like our robot going this year. It really helped us how that we got this far.
Within the first organization, there's a lot of attention for diversity and inclusion. Moritz, what can you tell about diversity and inclusion within your team?
So for inclusion regarding our team, as I mentioned before, we have Julius, and we had Julius, the exchange student, and basically we welcomed him with open arms. And the other point is last year we visited the Margarete Steif Schule. It's another school in Stuttgart. And what's special about that school is they focus on disabled children. They had like a kind of summer festival, and at that summer festival we presented FTC, and they really liked it to drive around the robot on the playing field.
Okay, sounds good. And Niklas, imagine you have a magic wand and you can change anything in your team or in the competition. What would you like to change?
We got a pretty small, I believe it's like a 32 square meter room where all of our 5 teams as of right now in the school are like working together. We have like put our practice field is on the school hallway because we have no way of fitting it into this room, and it sometimes, especially like breaks between lessons, it's really really tight in there. If you get we got 30 FTC students, and when only 15 of them are in there, it's already pretty annoying to get around. And that's obviously something I would instantly want to change.
A bigger room. That sounds reasonable with so many students in all the 5 teams. Moritz, who would you like to listen to in this podcast series about First Tech Challenge?
Well, I think I would like to listen to some coaches, like our coach, Mr. Fick, or some of the event organizers of FTC Benelux, because I think it would be an interesting change of perspective, not just hear from the students, which is already great, obviously, but also to hear from the other view on FTC events, what are problems when you have to manage that FTC event, and what might not be problems that you immediately think of.
Yeah, very good. Niklas, is there something that I did not ask, or would you like to add something?
So we'd like to add that we are active on Instagram and YouTube, basically active on all social media where you can find FTC. You will find us there if you search for Robotic Tech Frox. We sometimes post really interesting or something really funny, so check it out.
Yeah. One thing I want to highlight is our robot reveal video. We made a really cool video about our robot, and when you can see it in action, and I think it's really cool. So I would highly recommend you check that video out.
On YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Okay, sounds good. Then I would like to thank you for this conversation. Moritz, thank you.
It was great talking to you.
And Niklas, thank you very much.
I'm very glad that I could be here.
And I would like to thank the listener for staying with us till the end. Do not forget to subscribe, because there will be new episodes real soon. Hope to see you there.